evangelist. I mean, when I talk about evangelist, I mean street evangelist. I'm known as a humanitarian worker. I'm known as a writer. I'm known as a music producer. And you'll be wondering, all of this in one person? Yes, because it's God that creates destiny. God can choose to put all of this gifting in one person. He's the one that chooses it. All these five fingers are not the same. It is God that chooses which finger is which. So God can choose to put all of these abilities in one person. This is somebody that I've known that inspires me way beyond she can ever imagine. As a coach, I've seen this person bring out people, lift people up from the dust onto sitting up with Prince. And then this is somebody that our life is not all together in the eyes of people, going through every challenge. Some of the challenges we've gone through, I as a human being have not even tested it. Going through every challenge that will break a normal human being. Every challenge you can ever imagine. Every challenge you can ever think of, just begin to spill it out. This person has walked that path and yet still standing, yet still strong, yet still smiling, yet still bringing joy to others. I watch her from afar and from a distance, and I just wonder, how can you not break? How can you stand in all of this? And this is one person that we're here to celebrate. Trust me, the first day I met her, I didn't know a lot about her life. I said, why are you not coaching? I didn't have the right word then, but I was telling her, why are you not doing this thing? Why? Then it's like, it was more like, you don't know my life. I wish you know my story. I wish you know where I'm coming from. And then we begin to build that relationship. We begin to build that friendship. And I was exposed to so many things. Hearing the story of her life, I would have run away. I would have just gone to one place where nobody knows me and just bury my head there. But this woman, she's standing strong, standing tall, standing in the midst of the storm. Sometimes you don't know what I say about you in my heart. I say, why? How does she? She's a strong, strong, strong personality. You know, she's a native of Mancon from Cameroon, some of us know. A very accomplished writer. In her career life, she is very educated. She has a master's. Sometimes when I look at her pedigree, I was like, wow, how do you even get to do these things? In different parts of the world, she's schooled in Cameroon, in Europe, in North America, very versed and very, very educated. Our background, sometimes I think it's our background. Our father was a man of God. There were some prayers our father had prayed. That's the only reason I could attribute, and the hand of God upon this person's life. That's the only reason I could attribute to why she is the way she is. This is an accomplished award winner. She's won many awards, both in her career, in her music career, in her coaching career, and in her writing career. If I want to start spilling out all this person's awards and everything, I'm trying to keep everything brief because I'm conscious of time. I'm trying to shorten. I wrote out things. I wrote out some things so that I don't miss out things. Is it our publication, our first book, Phone Call in the Rain, Beyond the Wheels? And whenever she's writing about changing lives. She's not writing as an order so I can make a sale. Because sometimes she gives out those books for free. She gives them out. I'm like, but you spend time writing this book. He said, no, I just want people to be blessed. This is someone that has touched life so much in so many capacity. She's been recognized by the Cameroon High Commission. She was actually invited by Oprah a few years ago. Yes, it did not go as it was supposed to go. She didn't get to sit on Oprah's couch, but she got an invitation from Oprah. She went there. She arrived in Oprah's studio. There was a mix-up with the logistic. But sometimes God wants to show you some things. It wasn't about you, this person sitting on Oprah's couch. It was about God showing her, you can do this. This is what I've called you to do. That Oprah had to invite her. This is how accomplished this person is. You know, she has received countless awards, both in ministry. This person is a street evangelist. I remember during the lockdown 2020, she was baking and just distributing to people. She will hug the homeless, some people that I'll be afraid to touch. This woman will go out on the street and hug them. I'm going somewhere with this before I go into the impact that she has made through our coaching. This woman, sometimes when you go through a divorce, the last thing you want to talk about is marriage. The last advice you want to give is marriage. Because now you're going to be asking yourself, but what will people think? Okay, I'm advising people on marriages, but my marriage is nothing to be written home about. My marriage hit the rocks. But this woman, in her boldness, in spite of what happened in her marriage, she has helped countless couples come out of the road of divorce. She has helped countless couples mend their marriage back together and continue on the purpose. If some of them are able to testify, they'll be testifying today. What about suicide? She has coached people who had given up on life. And she said, wait a minute, let me tell you a story. And by the time she sits down and starts telling them a story and then bringing a professional counseling, bringing a professional advice and coaching and the word of God all packaged together. These are people who are about to jump off the bridge. Because of confidentiality reason, suicide is a very, very sensitive matter. We're not able to bring those people. Some of them will have spoken to you today. She has helped career women find their purpose again, even in the midst of a job loss. So sometimes the question I'll ask you is that when you are in the storms of life, who do you want in your boat? Is this someone who only knows how to cast the sail when the waters is calm? Or someone who has cast a sail in stormy waters? Someone who has rode the storm? Someone who knows how to steal the storm? That is the person I want on my boat. And that's the person I present to you today. Coach Leah. If you have any concerns, if you have any question, if you have anyone, I was just waiting for this to launch. I have my sister. I have a sister back in Nigeria who thinks life is over, who thinks her vision has ended, who thinks her dream has ended. I will pay for her to go through the course Coach Leah is about to offer. My big sister, my elder sister, she thinks like I've done it all. And interestingly, she's almost this age mate with Coach Leah. So she just gave up on life because everything, just marriage, everything is like she's lost everything. I was just waiting for this opportunity to be able to sign her up. And as soon as this offer is being given, I'll be the first person to sign up, my big sister, so that she can get it from somebody else. Because sometimes when I tell her, sometimes they say a prophet has no honor in their own home, they think it's because you have it all together. I want to show her somebody that life has given lemons, but she took those lemons, make a lemonade, not just lemonade. She made a lemonade factory, and now she's selling lemonade to the whole world. This is the person I will want in my boat. And this is the person I present to you. If you know anyone, for sake of time will prevent. When you have so much to say, it seems as if you're rambling all over the place. All the things I wrote, I can't even look at the thing I wrote down. That's right now I'm speaking from my heart. My joy is full because I see this day come to be. My joy is made full because I see the vision that this woman had and the vision that I had for her. And that you need to. Because when I get off the phone with this woman, my spirit is energized. My spirit is elevated. I feel like I can conquer the world. And there's so many people she has impacted their life. If you know anyone, even you, if you come to that place where you're stalled in life, you're just going through the everyday routine of life, sign up for this offer, this coaching program, and rekindle that fire, those visions you had. I asked myself, what were my dreams when I was 16-year-old? Because as a 16-year-old, you feel you can conquer the world. 18-year, what were those dreams that God put in your heart? God did not just put them there. I know life happens. I know bills come in. I know everything comes in. But you can go back to those dreams and vision that God has put inside of your heart. And this is the person that will help you find the flames back to life. It is never too old. You're never too old to pursue your dream. Sometimes the circumstances of life will help you discover your purpose, or sometimes it can bury you. And that is what happened to this person that I'm presenting to you, Coach Leah. She has conquered it all. She has walked the walk. She's not just talking, she has walked the walk professionally with life experience. You know, a diamond has to go through a lot of grit to come out shining. And that is what has happened to this coach that I present to you, Coach Leah. And this is me. Let me stop talking, because if you let me, I will keep talking to the end of the day as I present to you our dearest sister, our professional coach. And thank you for all those free sessions. Right now, it's time for paid session. Anytime I call you, tell me you then go and sign up on my website and we shall have a talk. Don't miss what about it, okay? Anytime I call you, sis, no more sis. This is now coaching, okay? Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to every one of you. As I sign off now and I present to you, please, a round of applause to everyone and to present to you our beautiful coach, Leah. Thank you. And in case you don't see me again, know that the party is calling me and I'll be handing over to my co-anchor, Gerald. Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you.
Wow. 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 Wow, praise the Lord. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Sister Odemi. Wow, I'm trying not to shed tears. I promise myself I will not cry today. The days of crying are over, but this is not the kind of tears. These are tears of joy. And I don't know if I really deserve all those accolades you're giving me. I don't know if I deserve them, but I just want to thank you. I'm not gonna say no to the great things you said about me. I just receive them with faith, with meekness, with gladness. And I'm just so grateful to God for a day like this. I just give all the glory to God for all that He has done through me. I don't remember some people remember some things about me more than I do, but I can never forget, what the experiences of life that I've been through that brought this day into a reality. I can never forget every single one of them. How can I forget how God picked me up? Picked me up from nothing and gave me a name. How can I forget how the mercy of God paved a way for me to stand and have a voice? How could I ever forget how God in His infinite mercy caused me? How can I forget how God in His infinite mercy decided to give me another chance? How could I ever in this personal life of mine, in this world, my experiences, how could I even ever dare to forget how God gave me a second chance? How could I forget how God cheated death on my behalf? How could I even dare to forget how God said, my daughter, I have called you by name. I have made you mine. You belong to me. You are going to serve me. But how could I forget how God said, even when I couldn't speak? How could I forget how God said, even when I couldn't dare open my mouth, swallowed by shame, humiliation, rejection, insecurity, doubt, lack of trust, fear? How could I forget? When God picked me up and said, it is not up to you to give up. It's going to be selfish for you to give up on what I have for you. When God said, because I have chosen you, it is up to me. Your justification is up to me, not your condemnation. I don't care what you did. Jesus paid it all for you. How can I forget the blood that was shed on the cross for me, that began my journey of who I am today and where I'm going to? How could I be selfish to focus on rejection, to focus on guilt, of my own weaknesses, my own shortcomings, my own neglect, my own mistakes? How could I focus on those and forget about the lives of those that do not have the privilege to call themselves the sons of God, so that they could step into the cleansing of the blood of Jesus, so that they could be purified and prepared to be crushed and accept the pain and endure and develop the fruit of the Spirit, so they can become all that God wants them to become, so that they can also lead others in their journey of becoming all that they have to become. So, my question to you all here today is, why did you come here today? Why are you on this Zoom? What did you believe? I told myself if I logged in today and it was just me, TalkToLia Coaching Solutions would still be launched. I told myself that I will not let one more day go by without maximizing the opportunity that God has given me to make the day count. And so I said yes. In November 11, 2011, TalkToLia Marriage and Family Enrichment Services was registered and a website was created. That is the ministry I thought I had. But believe me, I was just living a lie because I had just come out of a broken marriage, a relationship that did not even go anywhere, with two beautiful children that God gave me, yet nothing to call a husband because of situations that happened in my marriage. That did not give me an opportunity to have a voice to say, can we reconcile? I tried all I could. I went to the street. I cried to anybody I cried to. Can you pray for my marriage? But the marriage, the more I prayed, the further away the marriage went away from me. I was an object of shame, humiliation. Even some friends did not want to identify with me. The same Irene that went into Jerusalem, like Jesus entered triumphant in Jerusalem, was the same Irene that was put to the cross to be crucified by the same people, many of whom were with me when I was in my happy days with a relationship I called my marriage. I found myself with a newborn baby in my hands and a toddler son. I found myself thrown out of the house that we just moved into as a home with my husband back then. My stuff was still in boxes. I just gave birth to my newborn baby. But behold, the relationship kept crumbling. Nothing I could do or say could rescue it. Nothing, nowhere I could go could bring any decision that could help to make the relationship work. That is when I sought to find God. I thought I knew God, but I just realized I did not know God. When you grow in an environment where you're nurtured, it becomes normal for you to go to church. And then you assume that you're ready for eternity. But I was far from God because I was still living the way I wanted to live. I still wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live, do my things the way I wanted to do them. I did not know God personally, even though God had intervened in my life many times, saved me from many precarious situations that could have meant the end of my life. There was a time I was poisoned and God delivered me miraculously. There was a time even when I applied to go to Europe on a master's program and I totally forgot about the application. 3 months after they have been trying to reach me to accept the offer for a scholarship as a student in Norway, and I was sitting in a taxi. That was the first time I heard the voice of God. Irene, get out of this car, go to the internet, check your email. And I stepped out of the taxi in Boya and I told the driver, you have to drop me. And the driver thought I was crazy. I thought he said, you're going to Sapporo. Why are you dropping out at Bongo Square? And I said, drop me. And I went to the internet and lo and behold, the first email I saw when I logged into my account, it was expensive back then. I couldn't afford going to the internet every day. The first email I saw was final notification, scholarship award, Irene Lum Asanji. We have been trying to reach you for the past 3 months. This is our final attempt to know if you're still interested in the offer for a scholarship from the government of Norway to study in the University of Norway, the University of Tromsø in Norway. If we do not hear back from you today, we will assume you're no longer interested in this opportunity and will offer it to someone on the waiting list. My fingers were shaking. All I had in my account was 1,500, lower than I would say $2.50 today. That's all I had. I was still waiting for my paycheck for the month to end. And at the time, I had been promoted as a provincial communication officer for the Northwest region of Cameroon. I was planning to relocate to assume my new functions. And then I got this scholarship. I heard this voice, but I heard it loud. And I told them I was the only one in the car. And when I went to this email, this is what happened. And I traveled with my fingers and I wrote, I said, please give me the opportunity. I want it. I am so sorry. I've not checked my emails. I'm still interested in this opportunity. Can you please send me the information? Lo and behold, the foreign student advisor at that university at the time worked overtime that day and stayed extra because the angels of God kept her there for me. That's how I see it. And then she said, I was just about to sign out and go home, but thank God you've written. So can you give me a fax number where I can fax your offer of admission so you can go to the embassy because people are already preparing and getting their visas to come to school. We want you to get ready faster. So I received the email and I replied immediately and I gave a fax number for nearby. I did not even have money to pay for it. I gave them my ID card as a collateral to permit me receive all the documents and send the fax responses. And I got the information. I signed up on it, and I received the offer. I got all the paperwork faxed back for me to go and accept and apply for my visa. This was me going to my dream promotion after serving the Presbyterian Communication Department. I was a broadcaster back then, a journalist, and I knew that I was doing the best I could. I always dreamt of going abroad for further studies. I never got the opportunity for some reason. And then finally, I get promoted where I'm going to be a boss. I'm going to have staff under me, and then I'm getting a scholarship. God was not dumb. He was preparing me for something far ahead. And I didn't see that coming. But I took it and I quietly went to my new office in the Northwest, and I worked diligently while preparing to travel. Nobody knew that I was coming. The office where I was supposed to sit in came with a house, and a big house of about 5 bedrooms. But guess what? The person that was in that house did not want to leave the house for me. The person was not happy that I was coming. Who is this tiny little girl coming to take me out of the office? Mind you, this was the first time a lay person was ever appointed to that office. It was always an office for pastors that had done journalism. And because God changed the protocols to favor me, I was the first lay person that was honored to take this position. And I went in there, I was a tiny, insecure little girl. I just had big dreams. But God honored me. And I don't take it for granted. When I went to that office, I told the technician, we're going to have to work overtime. He did not know why. I will take him for lunch. I'll buy lunch for him. I'll feed him. And I'll take him to the studio. I will record lots and lots of reels of programs that could run for 3 months, because I knew I had to prepare before giving my resignation or mentioning to my boss that I was going to leave for further studies. I wanted to show them the solution I had in my hand, because I loved my job even then. So this is what I did. I prepared, and then my boss came and I told him I have to travel because I've been given a scholarship. They were not happy because I had taken some bullets for breaking protocol to give me an office that some people did not think I deserved. And then this was me leaving again to go to Europe for further studies. But my consolation was to them was, I am going to get more skills and I will still be useful. Any other person could step onto this position and take it over. I'm going to coach whosoever was coming to take over. And I've already done recordings that will cover for my absence, so you will not feel the pain of my absence. So it was a smooth transition. And then I left and I moved to Europe. And this is me going to Europe with all my beliefs, knowing that I was going to happen in Europe. I went in, I did this anthropology, and I was there for 3 years. I graduated with an MPhil. My life was still beginning. Even during that time, I had a relationship that I thought was my husband. I thought this was going to work out. And then before I knew it, it fell apart. And I was back again with tears. What is going on with my life? I was that daughter of great expectations. My dad used to call me my walking stick in OH, because I was the one that everybody looked forward to. Everyone looked at Irene was going to be the one that if there's anyone that can do it, it will be Irene. It was Irene that did a lot of great things. I have brothers, I have sisters, but I was that great expectation child. My life was not all that smooth. Even while in university, there were days I remember wearing the same pair of shoes the whole semester, and I'll be mocked at. Even when I had boys or men that would be interested in having a relationship, they will become kind of complacent because I do not have the ideal image of the kind of girl that some men want to hang out with. I had the credentials, I had the physical looks, but of course, some of my racks that I wore, my shoes that were ripped, were not what some people would want to identify with. And so some people will be talked out of relationships like that very fast with me. And then I would stay again, but yet I was proud of who I was. What my father could afford, I was proud to wear it. What my brothers could afford to pay for my school fees and my rent, I was happy and contented with what I had. There was a time I would go to the shoe repairer and he would say, Irene, I don't want you to come here again with these shoes. I'm tired of repairing the shoes. I had a shoe that was mercury, but eventually it turns into leather because all the mercury peeled out and it turned into something and I kept wearing it. I am telling you to let you know that you should not be ashamed of what you have, not be ashamed of who you are, not be ashamed of your background. It's not your background that determines who you are. People will look at what you are and make mockery of you and set you up, let you know that you do not qualify. But when God has qualified you, even you cannot disqualify yourself. So fast forward, moving out of Europe, coming to Canada. And then I came into Canada with big dreams. I knew Canada was where I would land my perfect career in the media. I had dreams of going to CNN, becoming, all this a big broadcaster, even going to BBC. But then I came into Canada. And then the next thing was my accent was not good enough for Western media. That I was told. That's the lie I believed. But I thank God that I believed that lie, because while believing that lie, God was preparing me for my truth of what I was going to become much later, which was bigger than just sitting on the media. When I got my relationship, I thought I had found the love of my life. This was a dream mine. I can't stop my talk about my story without talking about the father of my children, because it is a very pivotal experience in my life that shaped who I am today. The relationships I try to build today, that I build today, are based on the experiences I had in my failed relationship. The character that I've developed over the years have been due to the character tests that I've had while working and being crushed in my relationship, being dealt with, the bullet of rejection, being dealt with the bullet of shame, being dealt with the bullet of insecurity in the sense that when you love somebody, you give your everything to them. You tell them everything about yourself as much as you can. You become vulnerable to the point where they have a power over you at some point. It gets to a certain level where you realize that even when you become weak and vulnerable, they use things against you. And then somehow you become afraid of what they can say. Somehow you become worried about what would happen if these people leave me. So when my relationship fell apart and I did all I thought I could do in my image, in my ability, I went to church and I got born again, because I thought I was born again, but then I realized it was not enough. In 2011, I went into the Brampton Christian Family Church with my babies in a car seat, and I went in there and I fell on the altar and I cried and said, Lord, help me. I need help. Everything is falling apart. This was me. I finally thought I'd broken the generational curse of, women not getting married in my bloodline or in my family or my sisters. I thought finally this was me married, and I didn't know that 10 years later from that day, I would still be a single woman. What did I from that? What I took is that your life, you may think you have arrived, but your journey is still beginning. What did I take from that? Your life journey must not always begin with A. In the alphabet of life, it may begin with a Z before you come back to A. And sometimes when you try to want to make it be A, you realize that it's not working that way. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I got whose house that was our family home. I was told that this house we want to sell this house, because when I got into the house, I thought this was our family home. And then when we were breaking up, my ex-husband said, sorry, I don't want to keep this mortgage anymore. I was on mat leave at the time, so I wasn't having any regular income other than unemployment income or maternity benefit. So I wasn't economically sustainable for myself and the children. I was told we have to sell this house because we can't afford it anymore. We are breaking up. I don't want you to do anymore. I don't want this relationship anymore. Unfortunately, you're going to have to leave. I said, where am I going? And I was asked the question, did you fall from a tree? And I sat back and I said, truly, I didn't fall from a tree. So I had to start looking around for where what accommodation that I could afford. And then I landed on this basement. It was the worst basement I've ever been to. A basement that looked like a basement is a basement. It was like a dungeon. You know those kind of places where you can be there and you're hiding from a bomb and you'll never be touched? That was the nature of the basement I lived in with my newborn baby. And I didn't know that I was just being tricked to leave the house so that they can move into the house and some of my in-laws can move into the house with my ex-husband. And when I was dumped in the basement, the same week, my in-laws moved into the house, my ex-husband, and he didn't sell the house. And I remained in the basement. This is where, I told myself, there's no basement after his basement. I had to work on my mindset. It is very important that you work on your mindset when you're faced by challenges in life. Because if you don't work on your mindset, you'll lose everything else. It can only go downhill from there. At that time, I had just got born again, and I had just moved from the Brampton Christian Family Church. I had joined Christ Embassy, Brampton West at the time, and I had a cell with people that were praying for me. I did not have a car because the only car we had was a family car. My ex-husband had the car. I was pushing my kids and going for groceries 5 times a day in a stroller. And sometimes tomatoes will fall, things will be falling, people will be calling, hello ma'am, you dropped your tomato, you dropped your cucumber, you dropped this. And I was pushing the babies on this rickety stroller that I had picked from a thrift shop, which was not even compatible with a car seat. And sometimes my baby's car seat would jack up and my baby will almost fall. And people will help me to catch her from me and put her back in the car seat for me so I can push a stroller. Sometimes I'm running after the bus in the winter. The blanket will be flying. I don't want to miss the bus because if I miss the bus, another maybe 30, 45 minutes before the next bus comes and I'll be in the storm waiting to go to church. And when I joined Christ Embassy, I had a brother that would keep coming to pick me up and the kids to church. So it was easy for me to easily go to church. And I was feeding myself with the word of God. That's why I never detached myself from God, never detached myself from the word of God, because that's the only thing I knew. That's the only consolation I knew. There were stories out there that I had gone mad in the basement. Some people even claimed they saw me in a mental facility in chains and that I had lost it. And there were stories all over the place about me. And each time some of these stories come to my ears, it actually pushed me more and more into depression. But I tried to remain strong. I tried to be strong. I had babies and had words of prophecies that said, the lives I had waiting for you, you're going to change lives. I didn't believe in it. I thought they were trying to make me feel better. I thought they were trying to just make me feel good because every good person tries to make you feel good every time. I thought they were trying to just let me forget about what I was going through. But this one more, I heard them. I will go into a supermarket and I will, on the way out, I will just stumble upon a strange person. They're going to say, excuse me, ma'am, can I tell you something? I will say, yes, what is it? And they'll be, God wants me to tell you whatever you're going through, if you can just hang on. There's a brighter future for you and your children. God wants you to know that everything you're going through, don't focus on the guilt of whatever mistakes you made in your marriage. Don't focus on every pain that you're causing. Don't focus about what people are saying. Don't let that consume you. Stay focused on God. And He will show you. It may take some time, but you will know someday that God allowed this for a reason. And believe me, I would receive it and I'll be encouraged and I'll go back to my basement and I'll look at my baby, my tiny, I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor. I did not even have chairs to sit. When I was dumped in that basement, it was like I just arrived Canada again. I had a Polaroid TV which had a combo for a DVD player, a VHS kind of DVD player. That is what I had. And I'll put it on something. What I used for a couch, for a bed, or for a couch was I had a mattress that I put on some stuff that you look like bricks, and I'll cover it with a blanket, and that was my couch. I didn't have furniture. And my study script that was converted from the infant to the toddler crib, so he could still sleep in it in his own tiny little room in one corner in that basement. And then I had my bedroom. My daughter and I were sleeping on a mattress floor. That was our reality. I was so contented because the landlord gave me a chair, and like an office chair, like what I'm sitting on right now. And there was this little stand where I could put my computer. And guess what? Because I love to write, I found a new passion in writing. And at that time, a sister of mine called Woyin Chanji introduced me because she saw how I loved to write. She introduced me to a forum at the time where they used to have something called Yahoo groups. We didn't have Facebook, that was not that big at the time. And we had this forum called Shepherd's Back. That's where I started writing articles, and I'll contribute, and I'll see how people were getting so fired up. People were like, oh my God, people were so blessed. I started developing some value. I saw that I was useful because every time I read the messages that my ex would be writing to me or insulting me or people are laughing at me, I kept seeing myself as invaluable and useless and had nothing to contribute. But when I sat on that forum, I saw people appreciating my writings, and they're like, Irene, what are you waiting for? Why don't you turn this into a book? I started redefining myself. I saw that I was valuable. I was important. So yeah, so truly, it was a lie that I was useless. So truly, it was a lie that I had nothing to offer to this world. So truly, it was a lie that I had no value. Then I continued to confess God's word over my life, and I was more and more energized to write. And then finally, I went to the internet. I started Googling, looking for publishers who could publish my book. And I said, who is going to publish my book? Who is there to publish this book? And I found Zulon Press in Florida, a Christian broadcast publishing firm. And I reached out to them. I said, can you publish? They said, okay, send me your articles. and they read my articles, and I had this lady, this publishing consultant, and said, Irene, your writings are so beautiful, they bless a lot of people. You should publish these. We're ready to publish you, but it's gonna cost you this amount of money. And I said, I don't have anything. At the time, I was still struggling to even afford my rent. I was dumped there in that basement, and I thought that the father of my children would come back and keep helping me with the rent, but he didn't. And I was struggling. I started getting into my credit cards to even pay some of my rents. And how am I gonna afford this? I was having like maybe $600 and something a month for my unemployment or my maternity benefits. How can I afford this? And I went back and I said, this is not going to happen. There's no way this book is going to happen. Let me just forget it. Who am I to even think? And then at the time I was struggling with depression too. So voices kept telling me, forget it. Who are you to even think you can write a book? Shut up and stay here and just stay away from people. You can't be anything. Have you forgotten you're useless? And then another voice will say, it's a lie, Irene, you are a chosen generation. You are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. And you've been called for to show for the goodness, the glories of God, so that people will come out of darkness into God's marvelous light. And so I will say, okay, this is what I believe it is true. And then when I read what people were saying and the Shepherd's Back Forum, I was more and more encouraged that it's true. This is what God says. And this voice, so I will tell the voice to shut up. You are a liar. You are a liar. You are a killer. You are a thief. You are a destroyer. I don't believe you. I am something. I am not useless. And so while I was still on that call, I decided, this woman told me about a testimony. The coaching consultant told me about a testimony in her church where a woman had come to a church and shared a testimony about having a public contract. And then somebody just stood up and said, the Holy Ghost had said they're going to pay for this book. And that they're going to pay for the publishing. And somebody donated $1,000 right there. I said, this is my testimony. I'm going to run with this. So I had changed my number because I was blocking a lot of people from just bothering me, a lot of gossip out there. I didn't want to hear any talk again. People were laughing about, oh, these people that used to be like Romeo and Juliet, look at them today. Oh, look at them today. Where are they? I didn't want to hear more of those talks. So I limited the people that had access to my phone number. But I remember this, Mr. Kum Theodore, a brother that was one of the members of an association called the Alliance of Cameroonians, where I was an assistant executive secretary at the time when here in Toronto, in the Greater Toronto area. I remembered him, and I know that we used to, collaborate a lot when we were working in that association of Cameroonians. So I decided to call him. So when I called him, it's like he has been waiting for my call. Irene, where are you? How are the children? I heard you gave birth, and I heard you're going through some stuff. Are you okay? Is this your number? I said, yes, brother. Actually, I'm okay. I'm calling you because I'm trying to write a book. And right now I found a publisher, and the publisher said that they're going to publish the book, but I need to pay for it, and I don't have any money. Can you help me? I'm just trying to raise funds. I've been calling some people. I didn't know that some of the people I was calling, when I put the phone down, they were laughing at me. They'll fall on the floor and roll on the ground and laugh. That woman wants to write a book. Who is she? What kind of book can she write? They were laughing at me, and I didn't know, and they will make a lot of stories about me and laugh at me even more. And this brother said, Irene, don't call anybody anymore. How much is the book? And while I was talking to him, I got a call from the publishing consultant at the same time. I said, can you hold on? Let me talk to the consultant. And when I switched over the call, she said, Irene, when I just spoke to you, something just said I should bring down the price of your book publication. I am dropping the publication of your book. We want to give you a good deal. It's going to be on Amazon, on all the platforms. We're going to even do a video for you for free. It's going to be on all the bookstores. But Irene, this is now how much it's going to cost. If you can commit to making the payment by this date, we're going to publish a book. And I said, hold on. I'm actually talking to a man right now, and he says he's gonna he's gonna pay for it. Just wait, let me tell him. And I switched the call back to Mr. Kum, and I said, Mr. Kum, this woman has just brought down the price of my book. It's gonna cost this amount. And he said, Irene, I will pay for it. When is your manuscript gonna be ready? Now the payment was ready, my manuscript was not ready. And he said, focus on the manuscript. Irene, the first day I met you in Toronto, I knew you had the light in you. You are the light, but unfortunately, sometimes we have people in our community that don't like the light. They just want to kill it and put it under the table. Instead of encouraging this light so many people can benefit, they want to kill it. Irene, I believe in you. I don't have to even read your manuscript. I know you have potentials. Go ahead and publish that book. Finish the manuscript, and I'll pay for the publication. My hands were trembling, so I stopped calling people. I went back to the manuscript and I shared the testimony. There's a brother here, Rene Monono, who was actually one of the people in that group. He's smiling, you can see him. And, I shared the testimony on the Shepherd Back. Everybody was happy for me. I said, go, Irene, go for it. So When I was writing, I would forget about the troubles I was going through. I would forget about my marital challenges. I would just focus on the book. And the book was like very therapeutic. I can tell you it's not the best book that I will ever write, but believe me, that book helped me to save my mind because I was truly would have gone crazy. I would have gone crazy. Imagine giving birth to a newborn baby during a breakup, and the man that is supposed to be there to support you doesn't want you anymore, doesn't care. Imagine what can happen to you. That is what I faced. But God also showed me that during this time, there will be people that will be there for me. And there will be, not everybody will be there for you. And He raised some helpers for me. Some of them would come and take the kids, and just say, Irene, take this baby, take some time and just sleep. Just try to eat something. Some will bring milk. And Mr. Kum and his wife, Elizabeth, came to that basement that day with a carton of milk. And they said, Irene, are you okay? Have you eaten? And what is the address? And they came to my basement and they took me to their home and they gave me food and they bought milk for their children. They said, anything you need, just let us know. Stop calling people because they're only laughing at you. Don't call them. So I kept going and I stayed in that basement. And then it was finally time for my mat leave for me to go back to work. And there was nobody. And I reached out to my ex-husband and say, is there any way we can agree on how we're doing on babysitting? And he told me, when you getting pregnant, did you think about how expensive it is to raise babies in Canada? Don't bother me. And so I sat back again and I said, I had to start reaching out and how do I do this? And he said, take them to Cameroon. Must you keep them here? There are people that take children in Cameroon all the time. Must you keep them in Canada? And so I decided to make the painful decision to take my children to Cameroon temporarily so I can come and start a job again, full-time employment before bringing them back. I took my children to Cameroon for almost a year. And when I dropped them in Cameroon, I came back. I went to Cameroon and my family they were so much in pain seeing the way I look. My breast milk dried up very early as my daughter was still 5 months. I couldn't produce breast milk anymore because I was depressed. I wasn't feeling well. Food was like sandpaper in my mouth. The only consolation I had was writing, singing, and writing songs. And every time I went to bed, there were nights I went to bed and I would sleep and I would not be able to wake up. And up to 11 o'clock in the morning, I would not be able to wake up. My daughter would wake up in her sleep and cry, and I would not hear nothing. And death was gradually trying to take me away. My daughter would crawl and come on my chest and poke my eyes and poke my nostrils, and then I would feel something touching my face as if an insect was walking. And then I would wake up and realize that it's already 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. and my daughter cried and I would not hear. My son was the one that would wake up and just suck his finger and remain in his crib. And he would not do anything. He would not even cry until I came and pulled him out. So I would wake up. The moment I touched the ground with my feet, life will return to me. Every night I slept, I was battling with death and just sleeping forever and waking up again. But God preserved me. So my daughter, while I felt sorry for my children that they were born in this kind of situation, I wish there was even a time I wish my daughter didn't deserve to come into this kind of atmosphere. But then I realized that even the children, God brought them into my life for a reason. Because, they were my accessories to see the mercy of God, for me to have a reason to stay alive and fight. Because every single day, there was a challenge with me staying alive. Every single day, there was a voice telling me, start getting ready to die because you're useless. There were days that I would wake up and I would even take it back and start packing my stuff inside and feeling like, why am I even keeping this pretty dress? I don't need it. I will not even last this long. And then I'll come back again to reality, the reality of the fact that, no, I'm going to live long. And then I will start shouting because Christ Embassy taught me something about confession, the power of confession. Confess it and speak it alive. And I've been trained as a coach over the years. I realized that there's power in words. You have to speak what you want to become. You have to speak what you want to see. So these were very instrumental to me. And that's how I reprogrammed my mind. So that up to the point where my children went to Cameroon and I got a new job, I was offered a new job, I got a new car. It was an opportunity for me to start my life again, to equip the basement, make it look beautiful and conducive for my children. Then I went back to Cameroon and brought my children back and continued and looked for daycare for them. And then the devil said it was not over yet. And I had an attack one morning at 5:30 in the morning, one of the days that I came into close proximity with God's intervention. I was standing in the bathtub, ready to take a bath. And as I was ready to take a bath, before I turned on the shower, I felt like something pushed me, and I landed on the sharp edge of my bathtub, and I hit my ribs, and I became mute. I couldn't talk, I couldn't shout, I couldn't say a word. I was just whispering and gasping. And then inside of me, I started talking to God. I said, if truly all the words of prophecy about me becoming having a ministry in future, and that I was going to change lives, and that I was valuable, and that I indeed had a calling, if all those things that you said were true, if those words were really from you, then truly today is the day that you will save me. While I was in there, I had no hope. My phone was in the room. The children were still sleeping. It was 5:30 in the morning. I remained in this bathtub, just waiting. It was either for me to die, because there was death in every sense of it. I felt it. I smelt it. But something inside of me, thinking about the calling that I had in the future, thinking about my children, and that if I die, they're going to be orphans. Something in me made me want to fight to stay alive. And especially the conviction that I was convinced that truly I had value. There was something I had to do in my life in the future. Made me to have strengthened my muscles to fight to stay alive while waiting for God to show up, or Angel Gabriel to show up, or Jesus to show up, because that was the only other way. And then 45 minutes later, I heard my door opening upstairs. Key, footsteps coming down. I thought, what is going on? And then I heard a voice, Irene, are you okay? I kept waiting. I couldn't call because my voice, all I could do was like a bad nightmare where you're dreaming and you're running and somebody's trying to catch up with you. That's the kind of situation I was in. I couldn't shout, I couldn't scream, I couldn't do nothing. I just had to wait. And then she kept coming. She kept coming and kept coming in that dark hallway, and came and pushed my bathroom door and saw me in the bathtub and screamed and called her husband, call 911, Irene is in. That particular moment, that is how she pulled me out of the bathtub, took me to my bedroom, put me on the mattress. I just pointed for my pajamas. She dressed me up, and then her husband came. He said, no, don't come here. Irene is naked. You got to call 911. So 911 was on the way. And now, who was going to watch my babies? There was nobody. And then I remembered one lady, Evangelist Irene. I called her, and she said, at 5:30 a.m., I had just had an urge to pray for you, and I was praying for you. I didn't know why. And then now you're calling. I said, please. My voice came back the moment I called her. And I said, please, can you come take the babies? Because right now, I'm on, the ambulance is on the way. I need to go to hospital. I just had a situation, and I need you to come and help me. And so she said, don't worry, I'm coming to get the babies. So long story short, I went to the hospital, and every indication, the doctor said I may have had some internal organs punctured because of the severity of the shock and everything. But guess what? The X-ray results came out. I only had fractures on my ribs. And then I had to be taken home, and I stayed with this woman for 2 weeks. While I was with her the very next day, my landlady, who was a Muslim from Afghanistan, called my phone and said, Irene, I believe your God is a living God. But I don't know what caused me at that particular moment to go looking for spare keys. I woke up to pray, and I found myself like in a trance, and I went looking for your keys. So for me, that was my encounter with Jesus, with God, knowing that God is real. And from that day, I do not believe otherwise. Moving forward, I still had to deal with a lot of things. Not end with me at that time. I did not just apply to be the coach that I am today at that time. Not just say I'm qualified to be a coach. I still had to go through a lot of processing, a lot of healing, a lot of transformation, a lot of bitterness and anger, regret, and believe me, a lot of forgiveness. It was still a journey that would take me the 12 years that it has taken me to today to get processed, to be ready to say that I can truly coach people, because I have paid my price. I have paid my dues. I have done the process, and I have it works, because even through my transformation, when people still did not even know what was going on in my life, people were reaching out for help, and I was able to help them. And then I will share my story. They'll be like, wait a minute, we see you on Facebook. Is this what you're going through? Wait a minute, is this what you're going through? And every single day was an opportunity for me to help people in their transformation while I was still transformed. And then God gave me an opportunity, to step into a coaching class with Dr. Madison Gaffison, where, everything that he actually came on a platform where I was a member, Canada Virtuous Women. And when he talked, I said, this is the man I was looking for. This is the kind of person I need to speak to. This is why I want to be. This is the mind that I need. This is the kind of guidance I need. And this is a divine helper that God brought my way. And I stepped into that platform, and I gave myself an opportunity to jump onto masterminds, it was not convenient. Remember, convenience and comfort do not live at the same address. For you to have your destiny, you gotta have to give up convenience. There were nights that will sit on mastermind classes or coaching classes that will go as far as 2 a.m. But I will sit there. It was not convenient because I saw something. I saw a journey of this man. This man had also done things in his life that in the past that he grew up out of, he transformed himself into become this great icon, a great leader today. And then I said, oh my God, I can also be something. This is my opportunity to finally. So I stepped into it and gradually started taking some of these coaching classes. You know, even when I could not afford it, I would just say, and he would just reach out and say, Irene, I want to know that you found a brother. I want to know that you can trust me. And I had this opportunity. Can you hear me? I had an opportunity for somebody that I could talk to like a brother, somebody that I could unveil myself to, somebody that I could just be myself. And that is what coaching is all about. People have to be themselves with you. People have to trust the space. You have to provide a safe space for people so that they know that you're not just another person that is going to listen to their story so you can use it against them. That you're not just going to listen to them and make them become indebted to you when they don't want to be because they're afraid of what you're going to do with their story. That is a safe net that I've provided for the people that have come. And I thank God for the opportunity. I don't take it for granted. People have reached out to me with all kinds of stories and, with all kinds of situations. And I just listen to them. And sometimes they'll just come to Facebook and say, I was planning to kill myself. And I read something that you wrote, Irene, and today I changed my mind. And I'm coming to you so that you can help me. And that is how God has brought people my way. So I gradually built this vision. I changed it from the TalkToLia Marriage and Family Enrichment Services. It later changed into TalkToLia Enrichment Services and finally TalkToLia Coaching Service, TalkToLia Coaching Solutions, which is being born today. So my brothers, my sisters, I want you to know that time does not just give you what you deserve, but time and life gives you what you persist on having. You have to understand one thing, that it doesn't matter who is for you or who is against you, but it is most important that you should be for yourself and not against yourself. You have to be responsible for action. Make sure that you take action. Make sure you take responsibility for your actions. Make sure you look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I happy with this version of me? And if the answer is no, do everything within your possible ability to change it so that you can be the best version of yourself. One of my favorite authors, John Maxwell, has taught me that there are 3 catalysts for change. People change when they hurt enough that they have to change. People change when they learn enough that they want to change. People change when they receive enough that they are able to change. I've gone through all these 3 catalysts in my life. I have been hurt enough that I told myself I cannot take any more of hurting. There's something that's got to change. I have learned a lot in life that I've decided that I have to change. Life has taught me lessons. And one thing you have to understand as well is this. Whether you don't like to learn or not, life is a school that will teach you whether you're ready or not. Whether you're ready to take notes or not, you will be taught by life. And my life lessons have made me capable of understanding that I have to learn even when I'm ready or not. And things can come to people when they are ready and come to some people when they are not ready. Change can impose itself on you. Change can come to you and say, hey, are you ready? And if you say no, change will walk away. But you will never graduate from a certain class. You will keep repeating a certain class over and over and over again until you graduate. If it's on forgiveness, believe me, you will never go anywhere if you do not forgive. Forgiveness, they say, is like drinking poison and hoping someone else to die. And if I do not forgive the father of my children, I just wish that he was here today. I just wish that he could, I could have an opportunity to meet him in person and say, I forgive you. But I know that I have forgiven him. And God knows that I have. For whatever neglect, I don't hold it against him. I want to say thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to make myself better. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity for me to discover my strength. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to discover power of God in my life that was wasting, that I did not know how I could leverage on so that I can be all that he wants me to be. I'm still saying this. And anyone that is listening here right now and you're struggling with unforgiveness, you're struggling with trial, you're struggling with a challenge, I want to tell you something that Helen Keller taught me. He says, character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can your soul be strengthened, can your ambition be inspired, and can your success be achieved. So, if you do not have your character tested over and over again, your vision will never be clear. And once your vision is clear, there is no way that change will become inevitable. You can't avoid change because your vision will become clear. And a man of vision, a man of conviction is a dangerous man because such a person cannot be. So when your vision has been given to you or revealed to you, it is up to you to step up into that vision and manifest all that your vision expects to manifest. You cannot wait for everybody to approve, and validate all that you are before you manifest. You've got to manifest everything God has called you to manifest. So today, I'm going to use the opportunity. I want to thank you. I'm going to use the opportunity to, sorry about that. I'm going to use this opportunity to just welcome you once again, every single person that's here. I love and appreciate you. Welcome you once again to TalkToLia Coaching Solutions. Why for me to come up with this business today or this coaching service today was because I thought about the many people out there that did not have the privilege that I had to transform my life, to have a vision, to find meaning in myself, and to believe that I can impart meaning in other people. I'm thinking about that woman sitting in the corner, ashamed of herself that she's been rejected. I'm thinking about that man sitting in the corner, feeling lonely, feeling abandoned, feeling like they're not good enough. I'm thinking about that person somewhere in the world right now that just lost their job and is struggling and feeling like they're not good enough. I've been in all those shoes. A shoe where, sometimes I even look at myself like, did I really have a master's degree? I have gone through job loss. And just to let you know, for the past 1 year, I have not been working. But in this 1 year, I told myself, my creation has been waiting for my manifestation for too long. When I released my first certification coaching, Dr. Madison came and come in and said, let's go change life. It's time, Leah, it's time. And I still sat there. I'm like, okay, I want things to be perfect in a certain way. I want to do certain things. But it's not always about perfection. It's about you, really. Because there are people that their lives depend on you. And God will hold you accountable for that day that you do not take advantage of. And I'm going to read you a very important chapter, something of a book called The Day Before Tomorrow, How to Make Today Count. A book that helped this past 1 year of my transition into a professional life coach that you are now watching. Very, very instrumental. And this is what he says. Just permit me. And it's actually from chapter 1. So if you don't have this book, I will encourage you. Chapter 1 is the illusion of tomorrow. And it says, if the fight is tomorrow, why then clench your fist today? Some people want to postpone everything for the future. They want to postpone the fight for tomorrow, but forgetting that today actually matters. Everyone thinks about tomorrow. Everyone believes in tomorrow, yet no one has ever seen tomorrow. Nor can anyone live tomorrow today. Tomorrow is not a given. And so goes a proverb from my homeland, and that is Dr. Madison saying, if the fight is tomorrow, why then clench my fist today? Living tomorrow today is like living with a clenched fist, preparing for a fight that will not happen until tomorrow. The truth is, we don't know for sure that we will even be here tomorrow, let alone if there will be a fight for tomorrow. When we spend our time worrying about being anxious for tomorrow, we are missing the opportunities we have today, right here and right now. If we invest all of our actions in anticipation of what will happen tomorrow, the opportunities of today will pass right by us. They will slip away and be lost forever. When our hands are clenched in fists, we push the people away who attempt to shake our hands in friendship and miss the opportunity to know what they could have brought into our lives. We can't be bothered because we are fully invested. Prepare for the fight for tomorrow. The person who is in front of us today is not important. when we don't live for today. We cannot reach out to others in friendship either. We are too focused in our fight for tomorrow. It's been said, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's the reason why it is called the present. But who among us has ever received a present with a clenched fist? Who of us has ever embraced a gift with closed hands? Can't we see that the gift of every minute, of every hour, of all the hours of today meets the clenched fists? The clenched fisted individual, unready and unprepared. How many more gifts can we afford to let fall by the wayside? And so I'm asking you today, what is that gift that you're letting go because you're holding on to bitterness and unforgiveness of somebody that did something for you? Does the Bible not say that all things work together for good for them that trust the Lord and are called according to his purpose? Does the Bible not say that we should not lean onto our own understanding? When you believe that you're convicted and you know that you have a purpose, why bother about the people that are against you? Why bother about the people that do not care about you? Why bother about the people that do not want you to provide to survive? It doesn't matter. God wants you to survive. God wants you to be productive. God wants you to be fruitful. God has called you, and your justification is in Him. But God will also ask you, what do you do with today? One of my favorite authors, Dr. Miles Monroe, once said, may he rest in peace, tragedy is not death. The biggest tragedy in life is a life without purpose. If you die today, what would you say? That you gave up on your dreams because people did not believe in you? That you organized a Zoom and people did not come? Or that, people don't care about your dream? What would you say? Start with what you have. When Moses was faced with the Red Sea and the Egyptians behind him and hills on the left and the right, and he cried out to God, it was not just about be patient and trust the Lord or be still. We have passed the level of being still. It is now charge forward. Trust that the Red Sea will open. Get to a point where you can trust that this vision is truly of God and go with it. So this is me today, trusting God that this is what God called me to do. And so I'll use this opportunity now to quickly show you a little bit about what TalkToLia offers, the services that we offer, so that you can, when you revisit yourself and see some of the issues that you may be facing, you can trust that TalkToLia would be here for you. So I'm just gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna show you website. Okay, just before I do that, I'm going to quickly run through the vision of TalkToLia. And once again, the vision is, it comes from a mindset that gives every individual an opportunity to find change, transformation, and achieve personal goals as small as losing 2 pounds in weight loss to as big as becoming the CEO of their own operation. We have a coaching experience with personal life stories that break limitations and help people find their divine purpose, walk it with courage, boldness, and at their pace. Not all transformational journeys are the same, but every successful journey brings fulfillment to the hero, and that is you, and to others connected to that hero. Many people have potentials but have never found the courage to venture into their dreams. Some have started and dropped, others have given up completely and remained in comfort zones that are far from comfortable because life always keeps dropping reminders. Life doesn't give us what we deserve, it gives us what we work for and what we receive and believe. So on that premise, I'm going to show you the website so that you can see that. And again, I'm just gonna drop the link here if you can also have that at your end, because I'm gonna be inviting you to also do something shortly. So let me drop the link here. So that's the website, talktoliacoaching.com. Let me just share my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my screen? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
we
thank you very
can.
much.
It's
Okay, so this
okay.
is the website. Okay, so here we go. This is the website, and this is the minimum viable product of the website. We're still making some changes, but this is as it is right now. You're able to book for services. So when you visit our website, we do have a homepage, and where you can suddenly see what we believe in, and you can see the different services that we offer. We do offer transformational coaching. We do offer spiritual life coaching. We offer transformation from coaching into wholeness. We help with forgiveness issues. We help with reconciliation. We help when people just finding the perfect version of themselves so that they can fulfill their meaning. We also help people in every area of their life where they want to move to the next level. It may be in their business, they want to, attract more clients. They want to be able to retain the clients that they have, and they're looking for coaching services so that they can do that better. We have a business solutions as well, which takes care of that. So in our business solutions, we also do offer contracted, outsourced third-party contract counseling services to employees to help them navigate various categories of individual, societal, and workplace-related life events so they may remain mentally healthy and willing to embrace the best that life still has to offer and enjoy a sustainable work-life balance. So we listen to employees that have been outsourced to us, listen to their concerns, and help them work on their mentality so they can thrive at their workplaces and also thrive in their personal life experiences. So we also offer public speaking and group coaching services where you can invite us to your company's social events if you just want someone to come talk and share their experiences. So to build a mindset on the employees so they can understand that challenges do not prevent them from fulfilling their potentials, and also coach group individuals or individuals of like-minded individuals to pursue their purpose and heal together or heal as individuals so that they can be all that God wanted them to be. So this is the website. At this moment, I would like to invite everybody to go to that website, and this is a sacred reveal that I wanted to give. And this is, I'm going to be offering the first 10 people that are going to sign up. If you go to our contact us page and drop a form, just we'll receive it. The first 10 people that will sign up I'm going to offer them free coaching. So that's going to be on the house. And that's my offer for you today. When you sign up, I will be giving you free coaching in the days ahead. I'll connect with you. And so our process in coaching that is, I would like you to also be aware of is we do receive individuals. We offer a consultation where we assess if you're a good fit for us and if we can work with you. And then we can assess that, and we meet again to revisit what the initial assessment was, and get your confirmation or approval of what it is that we captured from our conversations. And then we prepare a package for you that is going to be based on your needs, where if you approve the package, we work on the pricing, and then we sign a contract of a retainer to work for you, work with you, and we start your coaching journey. And then we will always work with you. There's going to be one-on-one. Presently, I'm doing virtual, so I don't do in-person coaching right now. I do virtual coaching. So that means any part of the world, you can contact me. Mostly my hours of operation are there on the website, mostly evenings and weekends at the moment. And Wednesdays, it's completely off. We have Mondays, Tuesdays from 6:30 p.m. To 9:30 p.m. We also have Thursdays as well, and then we have Fridays, and then we have Saturdays. Sundays we are off. However, if you're going through a challenge, just kindly send us an email to info@talktolia.coaching.com, and I'll be glad to respond to you, or we'll be glad to respond to you at our earliest convenience so that we can start your coaching journey. At this point, without taking much time, I will love to say if there are any questions, send the questions to info@talktoliacoaching.com and I'll be glad to answer them in the course. But before we get there, I would want to once again thank you. I thank all of you. I see some of my relatives. I see some of my members, my community, Canada Virtuous Women members. I do recognize Dr. Mrs. Claudia Gaffison, call her the First Lady, and I do recognize um, Reverend Dr. Achupra, who is in the room, the General Overseer of, I believe, Royal Ministry in Brampton. Reverend Mrs. Caroline Achupra as well is here. And I just want to thank everyone else. If I don't call you by name, I do appreciate you. My brother, Ray Grandois, was here, who happened to, I met him in the US some years back when we went to meet Oprah. You heard a story about Oprah. He's here as well. And I do appreciate all of you, Shepherd's Back alumni, Brother Rene Monano, thank you for coming. So I'm just going to pass over to my host. I want to introduce my next coordinator to take on the next part of the program. And that is none other person but Miss Geraldine Agua. I call her Jerry. She's awesome. And Jerry, over to you. Thank you very much for your listening attention. And I'll talk to you again shortly. God bless you.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Coach Leah. That was a phenomenal presentation. Wow, oh my God. It takes a woman of strength to share her story to be a blessing to people. It takes a woman of strength. So please, can we give her a round of applause? Could you spam the chat with applause, with hearts? Let's cheer her up. That's very good. Thank you so, so much, Coach Leah. Wow, we're proud of you. Proud of you. Amazing. That's good. So before we continue with the program, I want to welcome you all. Thank you for taking time off your busy schedule on a Saturday to be part of us, to join Coach Leah to do her business launch today. Thank you so much. Those who came later before it started, or sorry, after it started, we want to welcome you all as well. And I hope from her story you have been blessed. You were able to pick out one thing or another that you would use to run and make your life better. So, and we also learned from her story that even in her darkest moment, she didn't dwell in a pity party. She used it as a she used the stumbling block to be a stepping stone. And from what I see, my interactions with her, she is a go-getter. She is a firebrand. You could hear the passion in her as she spoke. She is amazing. She's such an amazing person. Her joy is contagious. Never a dull moment with her. The first time you talk with her, it's like you've known her like forever. She's such a nice person. She bubbles with life. In fact, she bubbles with life all the time. And I can say she is a force to reckon with. Well done, Coach Leah. Well done. When it comes, a lot of people, they do jobs or their professional career. They don't really like what they do. They do it just for money or, yes, like the paycheck. They don't really like what they do. But when it comes to coaching, personally, I would not go to a coach or to someone who would do it for their paycheck, because then I know that they wouldn't be passionate about it. They would just want to follow the scripts to give me a solution. When it comes to coaching, I would want to go to someone who has the experience, not just their head knowledge or what they've studied in a book, but heart knowledge, what they've gone through, because they will tell you what they've gone through and how they were able to navigate shark-infested water to be what they are today. And Coach Leah is one of them. She is one of them. We have heard her story, all the trauma she went through, the rejection and everything. But guess what? Today she stands tall with her head lifted high by the grace of God. Well done, Coach Leah. Well done. And congratulations on all the certifications you've had. So you're not just talking from experience, you also have educational backing, professional backing to be an amazing coach. So I would say, TalkToLia Coaching Solutions is your one-stop shop to your coaching need. So next on our program, we have an amazing guest. In fact, the person is loaded, phenomenal. And in fact, I'll hand over to Coach Leah. Please introduce him because he's heavy. So over to you, Coach Leah.
Wow. Okay. So once again, I know I've already talked about him a little bit. So you saw in the invitation, the program, we had guest appearances. And so here we are. This is the time. And I just want to say, please, I know that we're all sitting, but I want your hearts to be standing. This is somebody that deserves a standing ovation. And this is somebody that has inspired me a lot in such a short time, a person that has coached me for, and I've put the coaching in practice and I've seen results. And I want to just say, join me to welcome none other but Dr. Madison Gaffison, who happens to be a business professor, a leadership coach, and a public speaker who utilizes his 25 years of leadership expertise to offer executive leadership training and mentorship around the world. Through his organization, Lead Missions International, he has trained leaders from over 50 countries. As an African-born immigrant from Cameroon, Dr. Madison is passionate about leadership coaching in the developing nations of the world and has offered keynote addresses to governments, businesses, and higher education sector executives. So there's a common saying that follow person where Sabi road. So if somebody is not going anywhere and you're following them, then you're going into a ditch. So I have been following somebody that is going somewhere. And that is why I'm able to lead people so that they can also go somewhere. So I want to welcome Dr. Madison. He doesn't like all these accolades, but unfortunately, Doc, it is not up to you today. This is my Zoom today. So you are going to receive the honor that you deserve. And thank you so much for all you do. Please take it away. Let's give it up, Dr. Madison.
Well, thank you very well. Thank you very much, Leah. It's a joy to be here tonight. And I want to thank especially each and every one of you. I happen to be working in the background, so I was the one who let every one of you in, so I can see how many of you have stuck from the very beginning to this point in time. So I want to say thank you for doing that. Obviously, you can do that for a sister like Leah. She is deserving of that. Now, I have three things, just three things to say, basically 3 comments to make. Number one, I want to thank you, Leah, for sharing your story. Your story is compelling. It tells us your why. That is the reason why you are doing what you're doing. We can see your heart. You want to be able to help us with the same help that you have received. We can see how you turn your pain into purpose. And your pain now is leading your purpose to help men and women around the world discover this place and this space that you have discovered for yourself. And so what a joy to be part of this journey. I want to say thank you for honoring the call to bring purpose to each and every one of us that is here. Thank you for deciding that that is how you would use your pain, not to be bitter, but that you can make others and yourself better. So thank you for deciding that you would do that. The second thing I want to just say is that I want you and me who are part of this to really see this as an opportunity that we can grow ourselves. Leah is a Cameroonian. I happen to be a Cameroonian myself, and many of us here probably are Africans. My encouragement is that our culture does not, have a lot of coaching. We don't have a coaching culture, right? We just have a thing where you're like, okay, I try my own way. If it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work, and all of that, right? But I want to encourage us that if you would have to be somebody significant, you would have to learn how to accept people like Leah in our lives that can give us direction. I know for a fact that coaching has made a great difference in my life. When I went into really not only coaching, but paid coaching, which was about some 7 years back, when I went into paid coaching, I mean, paying somebody to coach me, that's what I mean. Not me, coaching others for money, but because anything that you want to see experience in your life, you want to make sure you are a part of that experience yourself. So when I went into paid coaching several years ago, I did not know that it was how much it would transform my own very life. But let me just say it in briefly like this. When I did that a little over 7 years ago, in 7 years, I was able to start 3 organizations, 2 businesses. And through the coaching and all of that, we were able to reach, start an organization that has so far today trained over 15,000 leaders in 50 countries of the world. Now, that would not have just been my own, wisdom from my little village up in the Northwest province of Cameroon. It would take, people that have been there, done that coached me and helped me do that. Leah mentioned a lot about, one of my coaches, which is Mr. John Maxwell, who really helped me to be able to put together a framework for reaching out and training and coaching people from around the world. So here are 4 things that, 3 things that I want to just leave with you, before I exit your presence, which is number 1. And I wanted to do this because I know that today you have a smartphone. So I want you to use a smartphone to do a smart thing, which is that if you see any of these ones, feel free to, take a picture of this. So first of all, this that you see here, it simply defines what coaching is all about. Someone said coaching is unlocking a person's potential to maximize their own performance. It is helping them to learn rather than teaching them. So coaching unlocks your potential. It makes you to maximize your potential. It causes you to learn rather than just being taught. Let me ask you a question. Do you have somebody that is helping you to unlock your potential, to maximize your own performance? Do you have someone that is helping you to learn that which you need to learn? That is Timothy Galway that says this. Another person said, coaching is unlocking a person's potential to maximize their growth. Let me ask you a question again. How are you maximizing your growth? How are you making sure that you can be the best version possible of yourself? Coaching helps us do that. Also, Rick Charlesworth says this. The interesting thing about coaching is that you have to trouble the comfortable and comfort the trouble. See, if you think that you don't need coaching, that tells me that you are in a very comfortable place. But one of the things that coaching does is that it troubles your comfort. Because anytime you are living in convenience aisle, you are living on comfortable island, then growth cannot happen there. Growth never happens inside of comfort. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. In fact, everything that you have always wanted for your life that would make your life better is found outside of your comfort zone. So if you are feeling comfortable, I would want to suggest that you go for some coaching. Now, if you are feeling discomfort, if you are troubled, then I recommend that you go for coaching. Remember that coaching, it makes the comfortable to be troubled, and it makes the trouble to be comforted. So please think about this. And I want to just close with this, that by saying, lastly, John Wooden, who is one of my best coaches of all time, he said, a good coach can change a game. And we all will be happy if our game could just change tonight. So what if your parenting game was able to be transformed or changed? What if your marriage game could be changed? But listen to this. Great coaches can change a life. So it's not just about changing the game, which is in and of itself is a wonderful thing, but it's really about changing an entire life. So I said, number one, I wanted to thank Leah. Number two, I wanted to share what coaching can do for you and do for me. And I already told you what coaching did for me. Coaching, saved my marriage, and coaching brought my wife and I to work together to literally, build a family, empire of a wealth of wisdom, so that we can be people that can have something to pour into the hearts of others. So lastly, the third thing I want to say, and the closing thing, is that if you think that you don't need coaching, then it's a pointer to me that you need it. Because that means that you're comfortable. But if you are troubled and you just want clarity, one of the things that coaching does is that it gives you clarity. And then it doesn't tell you what necessarily to do, but it explores the opportunities that you have. And you can live in the land of possibilities, and you can definitely change your life. So why not sign up for something? I asked Coach Leah when I was talking with her in preparation for this program. I said, Coach Leah, this is what I want you to do. Why not offer everybody that comes to this line a free consultations, a free consultation session where they can just talk with you for 15 minutes and gain clarity. What is it that is needed for them? And let them kind of have an understanding of what you are doing, so that they can do just that. So my advice to you is that you would click on the link for the website, which you already have, and I want you to fill in that form and get a free consultation. It doesn't hurt. 15 minutes with her, sitting with you, talking with you and helping you see what possibilities there are, looking at your opportunities, or what is it what your possibilities are, what your options are to help you with your coaching. Why not do that? Remember that your life can really be changed through coaching. Coaching is a very, very powerful tool. Very, very powerful tool. And you, I'm sure by now, listening to Leah's story, you can say that this is a woman who truly has a heart for what she does. Why? Because she's gone through, probably way more difficult things than you and me have faced in our own lives. Now she is saying, well, you know what? I can take all of that, endurance. I can take all of that patience. I can take all of those stories and then put it back into a desire to help other people navigate those circumstances and come out of their personal predicaments and find their own clarity and find their own light at the end of the tunnel. So my encouragement to you is sign up for a session, get a free consultation, say, this is what I'm going through. What can you do for me? Now, if she has gone through all what she has gone through and that she shared with us today, think about it. Do you think that if you talk to her, she would go spreading it around? After she's been maligned herself, she's learned all of the lessons that we teach in coaching. That coaching is not, it's not a business where you hear from someone and go and proclaim it upon somewhere, right? She understands that because she's been through that. She's experienced what it means to be betrayed. She's experienced what it means to be laughed at and made a mockery of. So she would not make a mockery of you. She would value you. One of the things that I know that she wants to do is to add value to you. So why not open yourself up for that value that she wants to put to the table? I encourage each and every one of you, knowing this wonderful lady for what she stands for and what she does, in that you can take advantage of this. So thank you as you do that. And I know that, God is going to use her to do a great work in you and my life. So let us celebrate our own that has come from our own, right? Most of my coaches, and by the way, all of my coaches, for the most part, are Caucasians. All of my coaches are outside of Cameroon and all of that. But we are beginning to have coaches in our own community. Why not take advantage of that, right? And by the way, I have coaches that charge me about $5,000, for their coaching services. Some of them that charge $10,000. Now you are having. I'm so sure that Leah will not charge you $10,000. So why not take advantage of that? That's just my little thing there. But thank you, Leah, for doing this. And thank you for coming to support our sister. And I'm so glad that we can have someone in our midst that can help us gain clarity and achieve the goals that we have set out to do. Back to you, Sister Geraldine, and God bless you, Leah. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madison. Thank you so much. I call him Big Bro. He's a coach indeed. I attended his classes, master class, and it was awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Big Bro. Yeah. So thank you so much for the coaching nuggets you gave us. Coaching is very important. It's very, very important because there is always a better version of ourselves. There's always a better version. So we need to reach out to people who are skilled, who are qualified, who can help us become the best version of ourselves. So without wasting much time, we're going to go to our next item on our program. And that is, we're going to call a few people for coaching testimonials. So this tells us that Coach Leah this is not her first time, or it's not just going to be the beginning. She's been working behind the scene. It's just a business launch making it official, but she has been working behind the scene and she's been transforming lives. If we had to bring all the people who she has coached, we're not going to be done today. So we're just going to call on a few people who would testify how they have been blessed and transformed by Coach Leah's services. So we're going to start with Ruth Follow. Ruth, please, could you take over?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Coach Leah. Thank you for this opportunity that I don't take for granted. I'm in between cities and I had to stop somewhere on my way to another city just because I really wanted to be part of this to show you how much this really meant to me, because I was like, I am not losing this opportunity for anything, just so that I could tell people who actually you are, how beneficial you've been to my life and to the lives of other people. You know, we're in a community where when you talk about what people have done to you, they see it as weak. They see it as they see it as you're being vulnerable. But I think that the testimonies that you have when people have done things for you and with you goes a long way to help other people and to encourage them. You know, I want to say that there are people who do coaching because they they do it for a career. It's like you have those people who do so they have social workers who go to school to learn how to be a coach, to learn how to be a social worker. They become a social worker because they studied in that field, you know. But coaching is another thing. Some people learn how to be coaches, and some people have lived a lifestyle that their whole life is an embodiment of coaching solutions. You know, everything around them encompasses what they do. That is exactly who Leah is. That is exactly who Leah has been to me. And you will not find very many people like that. You know, she's that person that wouldn't give up on you. She's that person that will understand and go with you all the way. You know, at times we get tired even of our own selves, like you get tired and you don't really want to press on, and you start feeling like the other person that is insisting is boring you. And then the people may either give up on you or, you know, they go their way. But she's not one of those people. There is the kind of person that you can, like, you know what, this thing is more than me. I don't want to talk about it. I just need my space. I don't want to go back. She's that sister. She's that coach. She's that person she's gonna go round and round and round and then look for another means to coin that thing in a very nice way, and she will reformulate it, but she's still gonna say the same thing, and she's still gonna come back to that place, but just to ask you, how are you doing? And to find out if that thing that you're going through has been sorted out. And if not, can I help? Very few people have that. That is her lifestyle. She didn't study that. There's a difference of people who study that and there's people who live that kind of life. It's real. I tell people every day, I have that thing that for me to come to you, to be able to coach me or mentor me, or even in a church, I need to see a little bit of reflection of my life in your life, so that you're going to feel what I am feeling. You're going to understand what I am understanding. You're going to go through what I have gone through in your mind's mind. You'll be able to walk with me in that journey. Because at times we tend to minimize pain, but she's that person who doesn't minimize your pain, who doesn't underestimate you, who doesn't judge you, who doesn't exaggerate, who gives you your space when you need the space, and still carries you in her prayers. Leah, I just want to thank God and thank you too for being that person in my life. You have been coaching and you have been mentoring and you have been helping people. But it is time that we start putting a price to it. We're in a community where the moment we start making something, the moment we give services for free, everybody loves what you're doing. But the day you put a price on it, they're definitely, for some reason, not going to need that service again. But what I'm saying to each and every one of us here is this. I am not just coming to give a testimony of who Leah has been to me, but also to encourage us that some of us who used to call her at random hours, call her at odd hours, to just say some things, to just say, stand with me in this, pray for me in this. Let's know that she now has an official business. She has a platform where you can go register, you can go book a slot, you can go take a schedule and put a price to it. We're in a community where we should start, we say, support your own. It is not just in, if you even don't have a problem, we have people in our families who have problems, who need coaching. Go and see her, book a slot, pay for them, because we have benefited from it. We have come a long way with that, what she's doing. Leah, I want to thank you so very much, because you've made a difference in the lives of just too many people. I have people here on this platform that are here under my name, but it's not me, but it's because they couldn't help not be here, just to say thank you for who you have been in their lives. Thank you for always holding their hands.
Okay, my dear.
You are doing what you were called to do. You're not doing something that is your lifestyle. That is why it can never change. It started in 2019. I don't know, maybe it started even when you were born, because that's who you are. So I just want to thank you. I just want to thank.
I said, where's the Lord God of Elijah? And when he over, once in my father Elijah, don't worry, once you do, you know,
Okay, good. Can you unmute yourself back again, please?
Okay.
I just
So,
turned
Ruth,
off, stop the noise.
mute yourself.
Okay,
Please,
thank
just
you
some
so much.
housekeeping rules, please. Everybody, mute your microphones if you're not on the spotlight. Thank you. All right, go ahead, Sister Ruth. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I was afraid that maybe it was coming from me. It's okay. So I have, yes, so come on, I thought it was me. I was like, what is happening? Because this is not my office. I'm just borrowing a friend's office. So I have just 5 minutes, but Leah, I just want to thank you. I want to testify of who you have been to me and how supportive you have been, how we've come a long way. I knew you on this platform. We grew from this platform, from the social media platform to the friendship that comes into my bedroom and sits on my marital bed. That's how it has come. That's how far you can give your life to somebody. That's how far you can open up to somebody. That's how far you can welcome them into your space. That was because you were worth it. That was because you deserved it. It's not because, there's something that you do to people for like, I just want to be nice. No, you is because you deserved everything. If everybody is on this platform, it's because they have something that you've touched their lives. You've made their lives beautiful in one way or the other. You've been there for each and every one of us. I'm here, but there are people who are not connected. But I'm in a room that we are about 5 of us, but it's on my name just because you've been that person. We just want to say with the collection, everybody here, we just want to say thank you for who you have been. Thank you for who you are. And thank you for who you continue to be. Make your life that encyclopedia that will come and be checking from it and taking. But this time we're going to put a price to it and we're going to be paying. Thank you so much, my sister. I love you. The Lord bless you and may this business go as far as you can go. Thank you so much, Leah.
Thank you so much, Ruth. I'm really touched. Thank you, sis. I really appreciate you as well. Thank you for your testimony and your support today. God bless you. We are together. Okay, over to you, Jerry.
Okay, thank you so much, Ruth. That was really, really a good one. And I like the way you putting a price to the services. Now that it's not for free, let's not run away. It's non-joy anymore, as I say. So next on our list for coaching testimonial is Roslyn Love. Roslyn, please take the floor.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rosin Love. Most people know me as Jesus Flower, which is my ministry. So I would like to start off by just showing huge appreciation, right? And gratitude to Coach Leah for such a wonderful opportunity to be on her platform for the launch of her business, TalkToLia. Well, last night when I was thinking about what I could really say about her, right? I really wanted to script something out about this amazing lady, but I found nothing specific to script out because everything about her speaks of beauty. It radiates grace. You know, I got to be blessed by Sister Leah, who has now become a sister, right? I live in the US, she's in Canada. But she's become a sister to me. Our journey has been very beautiful, and it has been full of what I call genuine love. You know, she's always had this quest to see that change is affected in the world. Sometimes when I think about her, I'm like, wow, she's going to change the world someday, right? So looking back, the release of her very first album, Arise, in 2016, and her second release, Faith and Love, in 2019. There are so many other things that I have literally just watched her do. Okay, but one thing that really stands out for me overall is her love for people. You know, we can say love. I mean, the word, like they say, it's cheap, right? It can be used by anybody. But this lady has a genuineness about her soul. You know, I mean, I'm not here to help to sell her business, to help to sell her coaching business. You know, I'm speaking from the heart because we all grow up, you know, we're aging, right? You see friends and sisters, they come into your life. Some leave, some come into your life and they just pass through your life. It's like the wind. But this one right here, this lady, she's something else. You know, I'm always looking forward to a text, a phone call. Like if I play voice recordings from her, like she would literally call me and she would burst out into singing. She would just sing and then I would sing. So it's that constant show of affection of I am there for you. Are you going through a rough day? How was your day? How was work? Sister Roslyn, how was work? How is everything going? And she'll start singing. You know, there is something that has really tied her to me. When she talks about her story, it resonates with me big time. I have been through pretty much almost the same thing she has been through. So when she is talking, it just resonates. And today we can laugh, right? Because there's a reason why God will allow you to go through something that serious like the one she went through. I always look at her and I tell myself, if she did not go through that dungeon, she would not be able to coach other women about you have to be strong, about please don't be depressed. I got you. The Lord has got you. Can I sing for you? What is it I can do for you? You cannot support someone when you don't have the experience. So that is something that really ties me to her. And like when we talk, we always laughing, right? Because it's a thing in the past, and today she's standing here. She can literally, she can uplift other women. So it's no longer about her past. It's about the reason behind why God allowed her, and the reason we see is today. Sister Leah, I want to thank you. You know, when I first started my ministry and now I train for Scrum and project management, she would always call me, how is it going? You got this, you got this, you got this. And I'm just like, why? You know, she could be going through her own stuff, but she would not show you her pain. She would not show you her tears. She's encouraging someone else who is trying to stand. You don't see that in people. You don't. I don't know about all of you, but you don't see that in people. So that is something about you I just want to tell you. The smile you put on people's faces without even knowing. They don't tell you put a smile, but trust me, you engrave in their hearts smiles that will last forever. I want to thank you. I don't only want to thank you, but today in front of everyone here, I want to speak into your soul. I want to decree and declare elevation into your soul. I want to speak on the works that the Lord has for you from now moving forward, that everything you do will not only come to transform lives, but will transform your life for the better. Because sometimes we want to do things for other people and we forget ourselves. I was telling God just last week, I'm like, God, allow your children for just 1 second to be a bit selfish. Like, let them get something for themselves, because they do a whole lot for other people. Keep doing what you're doing, my sister. You are doing so well. But you have no idea the lives you're changing. I bless God for your life. I bless God for those children who have helped you to stand firm as a mother. Thank you so much for all you do. God bless you. Thank you.
I almost cried there. Thank you so much, Roslyn. Thank you, Cesar. Thank you, Twinny. We're always on Facebook and social media singing. There's something about this lady. She has an amazing, amazing, beautiful voice. I just want to thank God for your life, and thank you for coming to just bless me and support this vision that God has given me, and thank you. I just want to say I appreciate you. I am short of words, but thank you. I don't take that for granted. Thank you very much. So Jerry, our chief whip, back to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sister Roslyn. That was awesome. What an encouraging word. Thank you for just pouring out and encouraging her. So, Sister Leah, you got this. You got this. Okay, so next on our list for the coaching testimonials, we have Giselle Motanga. Over to you, Giselle.
Hello, my brothers and sisters, my uncles and my aunties, my mommies and my daddies. It's such an honor to be part of such a beautiful day. I cannot really thank God enough. I've heard from Sister Ruth. I've heard from Sister Rosalind. I think you guys have summed it up so beautifully. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking, okay, what is there to say? I think, but I can say that not each and every one of us here have a little piece of Coach Leah in ourselves. I mean, we've said it in one way or the other, how she's touched us, how she's mentored us. Well, I'm one of those that have received free lessons for so long. And I think it's high time, there is that price tag to it, and I'm ready for that. It's such a privilege. Coach Leah is my sister. Not sister from birth, but I truly call her my sister. I've known her for about 9 years or so. And I remember the first time we met, and she just there is no stranger when it comes to Leah. I mean, you guys can all testify. There is always a way that she will make to like, talk to you and make you feel at home and beloved. And that's just something that you don't see in people, especially being in the Western world. And I remember the first time I met Leah, and we chatted for a bit at a friend's house, and that was it. And she sent me a friend request on Facebook, which I later on, after a couple of months, accepted, and we kicked off from there. I think for me, one of the things that struck me about her, I would call it an encounter. This was when she had her book launch, and she sent me an invitation, and I attended. It was a very successful. It was a successful launch, just like right now we are here today, uh, celebrating, another big milestone in her life. And I was going through my own challenges as well as a mother of three, challenges in the sense that, after coming here, I had to go back to school, jogging, other things, and having a 1-year-old baby in my hands, and I had to go every day downtown Toronto and all that stuff. And I was preparing for my boards exams. And after the lunch, I just remember Leah walked to me, and she was very happy, that I could make it. And and for some reason, Leah is that kind of person that she's so, you can say anything to her. She's so open. I just found myself telling her, and like, Leah, I need you to pray for me. And I have my board exams coming. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm so afraid. I really don't know. And even though Leah had, that's one thing about Leah. Leah will always make time for you. It doesn't matter if she's cooking, it doesn't matter if she's seeing someone, but she does it gracefully, and she'll find a way to attend to your needs. And that is something that, I don't know, it comes natural with her. She doesn't have to fake it to make it, like some people say, it's just her own gift in her own right. And I remember she took me into a room, a nice space, and she prayed for me. And there is one thing that I left with on that day that maybe till this day she never knew, but she told me, you deserve that certificate. You are more than what you think you are. You know your rightful place. Go get it and claim it. It stuck with me because every time I would find myself, like struggling, I will remember I deserve this certificate. I must. There is no second chances, because I said there was no second chances in the sense that I wasn't going to come back to write that exams. There was no room for me to fail. There was no room for me to, like, a repetition or whatever. I deserve it. And even every time I'll go into prayer, I'll be like, God, I deserve this. In as much as she wasn't there with me to study, but I tell you, Leah would call you. She would ask you how you're doing. She will follow up with you. You guys, we've all heard her story. She's gone through thick and thin, but not a single day would she show you, we are all human. It doesn't mean we don't fall and crash sometimes, we've heard. But amidst her struggles, she would make sure, she's such a good listener. She would listen to you. She will find a way, to communicate and make you feel your worth and get you to where you want to go to. She gave that to me. Maybe she never realized that. Fast forward, I was able to complete my studies. I was successful in my boards exams. And I remember the day I called and I told her that I was successful. And I said, thank you, Sister Leah. Because of you, I kept saying because of you. And she said, it's not because of me, it's because of you. She made me realize that it was because of me and the help of God that took me to where I was, and I got myself to where I wanted to be. You know, sometimes in our lives, I think we've all experienced that, maybe not, but there is something in you that sometimes you need somebody to tell you that you have that thing. I am one of those that I didn't used to feel that way. I knew I had potentials, just like she said she does, but I was always timid. I didn't have that self-worth. I always felt like it wasn't enough, that there are other people that are better than me. But you know, because she was there to remind me of my abilities and my capabilities, I took that and I ran with it. And not only then, I have been a successful public health inspector for the last 5 years and going. And I remember, when there was a time I'm like, they are laying off people. And she said, you are not going anywhere. You are more than anything. Think about the things that you know that people don't even know. You know, what I'm trying to say here is Leah she is, not would be. She is, because she already started acting in her capability since before, launching this. She is supportive. We all know she's trustworthy. There is nothing that you will not tell Leah. Even if it's at 10 o'clock at night, she would always be there, like to hear you talk. She's very respectful. We can attest to that. She's observant. She People say you are my ride and die. We hear these things. Leah is a ride and die friend. She's not a betrayer. And just to add to what doctor said, that how we are sometimes scared to hear of people's private problems, and you feel like, oh, they are going to take it and say it. Coach Leah is not one of those, because she has seen it all in life. And what is there that you really would think that you cannot trust her with? So I'm here today as a testament of the benefits of the things that she has done to me. And by no means am I undermining her capabilities, but I am just here to encourage us all we've all seen the potential, we've all seen the love, spiritually, mentally. Sometimes I just wonder how she goes about talking to people, winning souls on the street. Like this lady, she never gets tired. We have seen it all. I'm not here to repeat myself, but just to say how grateful I am to have met her. It's no coincidence. Even my spiritual life, I am what I am today. Part of it is because of the input that Leah put in me, the investment. That is how far Leah is. Leah invests in somebody, and that is something that is rare to find. It is rare to find someone that would invest in you, not for anything, not for you to have something back. She will not do it because she needs something from you, but just for the love of doing it. And I want to say that this is her time. This is her moment. And I am so grateful that God took you from where you are, from that place, and now you are on this solid rock, because we all believe all other ground is sinking sand. And I am praying and I am hoping and I am trusting God that as you have held that light, that it's shining, and all of us, we are here to testify and to see that great work that your life has shown to us. And I pray that you continue to be that embodiment, of Christ that is in you, the hope of all creation. And that this new launch and this baby, let me put it this way, because this is something that you've wanted so bad, but you even did not realize it has come to fruition. And anything that starts with God, it ends with God. When we build a foundation on God, it can only flourish. I know and I'm trusting God that this is the beginning and this will only flourish. And this will take you to that place where even you had never imagined. And we are all here to support you, to rejoice. And yeah, I would say to see where this takes you. Thank you all. That's all I have to say today.
Wow, Giselle, my sister. Wow, wow. You're a gentle giant. There's so much in you, and and there's much more that will come out of you. Thank you very much for this commendation. This I'm so touched, and I don't have words to describe how grateful I am for your words. They touch me really deep in my heart. And I totally forgot about those. I forgot about that day. And you just reminded me. So thank you so much, dear. So we do have um, Sister, Lady Jerry. Lady Jerry would take it back. I want to pass it back to you. I just see some new people have come into the room, and I want to use this opportunity to welcome Irene Mangem, Irene Chair. That's another powerful woman, a sister that we've connected even as far back as the time I was in the basement. You will not believe we've never met in person, but we even assume that we've already met in person, and she too is a story for another day. You will discover her on Facebook and the wonderful things, a transformation that has happened in her life as well. And so you can see I hang around like-minded people, and there are lots of people that we need to hold and bring up to the level where they have to be, so they can find their voice, they can hold a pen and write their story themselves. So others will not write the stories about them that they don't want. So you can hold your pen and write your own story. And I just want to say to anyone that is watching again at this point, before I go back to Jerry, is that, never, never, never give up on yourself, because God has never given up on you. Giving up is selfish. That's a very hard way of saying it. Giving up is delay is expensive, but giving up is selfish. So think about it. Jerry, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Giselle. That was really a powerful one. I mean, it was just a testament that Coach Leah had already been doing the job before.
Uh-oh. Jerry, please unmute.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yes, perfect. Yes.
Okay, okay. So I was
Yes, please
saying
go ahead.
that, yeah, I was thanking Giselle for that, her testament, because it shows you have already been working behind the scene. So you're not just starting today. Today is just official launch of your business. That's putting a price tag to the service, but you had already been doing the job. So you've got experience already in your resume. And next on our session is going to be the Q&A, question and answer session. And before we go there, I have one more thing to say. I, for one, naturally, I'm not really the crowd type of people. I don't like talking in crowd, except I have to. So when Coach Leah asked me to coordinate the session, my natural response would be no. But she has been coaching me behind the scenes and telling me that, okay, you can do this, you can speak in crowd, you're meant for this, so you should give it a try. So when she asked me, naturally it was a no. But I told myself, like, okay, when will I ever get out of my comfort zone? Because the first step is to get out of your comfort zone, to realize that you need to get out and then get out of the comfort zone. So Coach Leah, me just accepting to do the coordination now, thanks to you, thanks to your coaching. That's why I'm here today. And I can testify to it that, yeah, you've been telling me it's not just today or not just when you asked me to coordinate. You've been telling me for more than a year now that I should speak. I can speak. I can do it. I can talk in public and everything. And here I am today. So thanks to you. Okay. So next on our program is the Q&A session. I don't know if you have any questions which have come in. Are there any questions or?
I'm just gonna quickly check. I've received quite a number of people that want to sign up for coaching, but I haven't got questions. Are there any questions? Please, you can send to info at TalkToLia. Let me drop the email once again, info at TalkToLiaCoaching.com, or you could just ask. You know, if that's gonna be, you could just unmute and or just raise your hand and you can ask the question. We can take it from there. I would definitely love to have your questions in the inbox as well, right? And that way I create kind of a trail where I could also follow up on certain things. But again, if you want to talk, please, the floor is yours. And I also just see a brother here, brother Matthew Obulafor. This is a brother that he, even when I dropped TalkToLia, he will not allow me to rest. Every day, what are you doing about your TalkToLia? Okay, I can see you going into, you're doing IT now, you're doing this, but what about TalkToLia? He never allows me to rest. He believed in me from day one, many years ago. He believed in me, and he's right here. He actually did my very, very first website, which I started, the TalkToLia Marriage and Family Enrichment Services, and then it died along the way. I couldn't pay for the website anymore. I even lost the host. I lost the web hosting. But this is one brother that really, really strongly believes in me. Has been there, is still there with a wife. They're amazing, amazing people. Some nights they will watch when one of my children will be sick and high temperature. I will have to drive to their house, drop the other one, and then take the other one to the emergency. They will stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning waiting for me to come back. These are the people, the divine helpers that God has placed on my path. So I just want to acknowledge him here tonight because he is truly, he's one of the people that are happy that TalkToLia is here. So finally, I got you your TalkToLia, brother Matthew. So I think I can rest now. Okay. So yeah, I think there's a hand up. I saw David. Dennis has a hand. Can you see that, Jerry?
Yes.
All right. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go
Yes, we
ahead.
can.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Kolia. This is Dennis Ubembo. People know me a lot as Dennis Webb on my social media. I'm very grateful to be here, and I just want to, this is amazing. This is a wonderful launch. And I want to congratulate all the people that were involved. You guys did an amazing job. You guys took the last 10% of this launch as important as the first 90%. And that's how you get an event successful like this one. Well, Ring, I have known a lot about you from your writings and from your books, from your singing. Very wonderful person. I've met you once, and it was by chance. And I believe it was when you were going to Cameroon. You talked about the story about taking your kids to Cameroon. I don't know, that was the time that we met at the airport in Toronto. I'm not sure, but I think I had the chance to be part of that journey from Toronto to Cameroon. I live in the United States. I don't even know how I found myself in Toronto, traveling to Cameroon, because I would take my flight from the United States to Cameroon.
Yes, I remember. Yes, I do remember.
That is how I met you. I remember those kids. And the first time I realized when I was here at the airport, I saw this beautiful lady struggling with two kids with hand luggages, trying to pull them all around. And I was just wondering, I didn't even know it was Cameroonian. And then when we got to the plane, we started talking, then I realized that she was going to the same country that I was traveling to. And but before then, I heard her went through the check line with those luggages and the two kids. And that's the person that I've known since then. And that has been the only time we've ever met. Although we do communicate, we are still friends on social media. Your story tells a lot about you. And you've done so well. And I'm so proud of you that you've moved past that level. But this is not all. You still have so many struggles ahead of you. And you're going to go through them the same way you've done the past ones. There's just secret in life that I always will go back to. And I learned it from one of those greatest people in the life, the greatest philosophers, Socrates. And he said, the secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but building new. And that has really helped me so much. You know, we always deliver more than you have launched a business now. You only have an idea how you're going to run this business. You only have certain things in your mind. But from the business perspective, the way I've launched a business as well that is working, still alive today and still being profitable, because I have learned to deliver more than expected. If you want to succeed, you want to go only beyond what you have in your mind right now. That, oh, I will get up in the morning, I'll get to work, I'm going to meet this person, I'm going to do this thing, the basic. No. If you're going to stay in business for the next 5 years, you're just going to start thinking and go every day, make sure you do better and better and better and learn, continue to learn. That is how you're going to get this business working. You know, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to truly satisfy is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. I also learned this one from one of the founders of Apple, Steve Jobs. And that has helped me a lot. You know, you have to truly like what you do. We love money, but we're going to do more than just trying to get the money. And that's how you're going to succeed in this business. Because you can't sell what you can buy. It's got to be a passion. You have to love it. And I believe, and I've seen you. You've been in this business without getting paid. Sometimes we chat on my social media. You come there and I sometimes we make fun and jokes. You know, I'm one of those persons that make a lot of noise on social media. Put a note, Dennis, where I make a lot of noise. We do have this hashtag now, make some noise. You know, that's make people laugh. I've been making that for so long, and you always come and laugh. That is a passion. I love to do those things. And we even get paid for doing those things now. So you see how things happen? Continue to do the great work. But you're going to find some challenges. We are a community, we're a family. You're still going to have a lot of people that are your friends that will come to you. You will have that lot of familiarity in business, but you have to know in mind. You have to solve. You
Yes, we're having an interruption. Well, thank you, Dennis. I think we're having a little interruption. I don't know if it's your connection at your end. Yes. There was a little interruption at your
Oh,
end.
I'm so sorry. Maybe that. Can you hear me better now?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. Was
Is
there any
it,
question
is
you
it,
have for me?
is it, is
Yes, it's
it
perfect now.
better?
Any question? Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay, well, I was just trying to give a little bit of encouragement, how from my other personal life and things have gone well.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. And you just reminded me, I remember that day traveling to Cameroon with the babies, dragging bags, and then you helped me to carry them. And even in the plane, there were some times that they were both crying and you had to take one of them and carry, because they're so close together. They're 12 and 13 today. But back then, they were just less than 1 year apart. So thank you so much. And thank God for your life as well. I appreciate you, and thank you for all the good nuggets you've given me. I'll remember them so I can apply them, so I will not set myself up for failure. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone else has a question? And please, even if you think up something, you can feel free to send it to info@TalkToLia coaching.com, and I would certainly respond to you at my earliest convenience. And also for, I think quite a number of people have indicated that they want to sign up for coaching. And again, everyone that is on this, oh, there's a raised hand. Yes, Ruth, please go ahead. Ruth, you have your, Ruth, oh, That is actually Ia using, I think it's, oh, you notice some names are repeated here. Some people actually use another person's link for, so if you're Irene Assange somewhere using my link and you're not Irene Assange, please, can you rename yourself so we can capture the real person? And I can see her face is Ia. That's the founder, CEO of the Ia Kidney Foundation. Amazing, amazing woman of strength. Please go ahead, Ia, over to you.
Well, yeah. Hi, everybody. Congrats to you, Coach Leah. I don't have a question, but I just really want to testify to your character, to your personality as somebody that has seen and observed from afar. I haven't met Leah. I haven't met Coach Leah in person. I don't remember so, but I have gotten so familiar with her just by connecting from social media and through mutual friends. I mean, I could testify to her consistency. One thing that you are, Coach Leah, is that from I've known you for several, maybe 10 years or so, since we've connected on social media. You've been very consistent. You're such a creative, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether it's being an author or authoring a book. I actually ordered like 5 of your books when they came out. And I'm so proud of you. And I think when going into something like coaching, it goes a long way when somebody can think outside of the box, when somebody can be a creative, because everybody's unique in every sense of the word. So being able to think outside of the box and being such a creative, I think it helps with solutions in solving people's problems that are unique to them. So with your consistency, with your love of God, which anybody can see just by coming close to you, and truly from your testimony, we can see that God loves you. God loves you too. So I hope that as God continues to shine in your life, you in your business now, it's going to extend to all your clients and to everybody else. Your support, you've supported the EA Foundation always. You're always rocking your green when we have our green campaign. We appreciate you for that. And I just wish you all the best. And you truly are an overcomer. Your story today has blessed me. It has inspired me. And I'm sure everybody here on the platform. And thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, sis. Welcome. We are together. Hey, and you know what I'm talking about. We got that. Strong woman, we got that. Thank you. I love you, Ia. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Is there any other hand that we may be missing? Let's see. All right. Okay, so doesn't look like we have any more hands. Okay, yes, there is Aka Samantha. Please, Samantha, over to you. Would you mind opening your camera so we can see you? Oh, okay. Samantha, was that just a thumbs up or you were actually about to ask a question? Doesn't look like that was okay. And today I will not let this day go by without acknowledging the amazing lady that designed the flyer, Karen Money. She's right here. Karen, she's just amazing, fabulous. And if you have you want to design a flyer, you need someone to design your flyer, please do not hesitate to reach out to her. If you don't know how, reach out to me and I will connect you. And of course, the website design as well is also EncoDocs, the amazing team of designers. And if you also would love to know how to get in touch with them, I can connect you as well. So you can also enjoy the services. And as well, I also have Matthew Obulafo, who is also an amazing web designer as well. So we do have lots of talented people in here. And if you need any of these resources for your business or for your personal, whatever you want to accomplish in that direction, do not hesitate to reach out. And I'll be more than happy to connect you to them, and so you can thrive. So, Prof, are we doing? Is there any question from you that you want to ask? I know that initially you had mentioned there might be some role play, but if not, then we should be looking at wrapping up for today.
Yes, I think we hand it to Lady Jerry.
Oh, okay. Yes.
You hear me?
Yes, Doc, I don't see. Okay.
You hear
So
me?
did you say we should be wrapping up?
Yes,
Oh, we
that is
should.
okay.
Okay then. So once again, I just want to thank every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules. You could have been somewhere right now. You could have been cooking for your children or gone to do some groceries for the weekend. You took time and you've been here since 3:30. We're now at 6:10 p.m. and this means a lot. I do not take this for granted. And thank you for honoring God. I don't say it's me you're honoring. You're honoring God because God gave me this responsibility and I decided to publish it. And thank you for being co-publishers of this vision. Thank you for being supporters of this vision. Thank you for being people that are going to be trusting me along the way in this new uniform that I'm wearing, this new hat that I'm wearing, in this official capacity to be able to continue to serve you so that you can be all that God called you to be. Thank you once again. And I do not promise you that I will have an immediate answer for everything, but I trust the God that called me, and I trust the Spirit of God that leads me and gives me wisdom, and I trust the desire inside of me burning to serve everyone that comes my way, not to fail them. And I believe that I'm going to be able to reach deep and find the answers to the questions that you may have. And I'm going to leave you with this final word. Problems come to victims, but challenges come to champions. If you are a victim, then all you will see is a problem. But if you are a champion, then everything that comes will just be a challenge that has met its match, and you will be equal to the task. Thank you once again for trusting TalkToLia Coaching Solutions. Let's go on this journey to rapture. I love you all, and God bless you.